what's been called a new morality, and I really think that's what the American, this thing.
Success. What does one have to do to become the biggest and best person in the world? To climb the corporate ladder or rough it out on your own to make your own image? It is a hard place, this world we live in, where one can easily become trapped without vision, focus, and maybe some luck and faith. Today, here on FTD Facts, we are talking about a man who overcame his own adversity and became a household name, creating the magazine we know as Playboy. And no matter how you feel about this man and his work, he has done it his way. Hugh Hefner, the ladies' man, the man who beat the system and became the biggest player in the entire world. Welcome to FTD Facts, guys. My name's Dave Walpole, and this is FTD Facts, a channel where we talk about people, cultures, places, and things from all around the world. Now, yes, today we are looking at Hugh Hefner because he recently passed away, and we are going to go over some of the interesting points about this man. Now, before I get in this video, I want to let you guys know quickly about Grammarly.com. These guys are our sponsor. I'll let you guys know more about that at the end of the video. And on top of that, I just want to know, who is your favorite Playboy model? Let me know down there in the comment section below. Me, I've always loved Carmen Electra. Whew! That girl's just smoking. So Hugh Hefner was born Hugh Marston Hefner on April 9th of 1926 in Chicago, Illinois. His parents were Grace Caroline and Glenn Lucius Hefner, who were common folks, and as a matter of fact, teachers that came from Nebraska, and just like most, successful people, he came from noble origins. And you might think that Hugh, being the way he is, was an only child. However, he did have a younger brother named Keith. Now, at a young age, Hugh attended the Steinmetz High School, but by the time the Second World War broke out, he took his literacy influence and became a writer for the US military newspaper. Now, one thing that's pretty funny about Hugh Hefner is we know him as this playboy, such a player, but he actually had a psychology degree. Because after the war, he attended the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign and finished in 1949 with a Bachelor of Arts degree.
The American, this thing called the American sexual revolution is really all about. It's an attempt to replace.
Now, within that same year, he married his first wife, Mildred Millie Williams, whom they both raised 2 kids together. His first, Christy, who was born in 1952, and the second son, David, who was born after Playboy came around. So when did Playboy come around? Well, in the early 50s, he was working for the magazine known as Esquire. And around 1952, he asked for a raise, however, he was denied, in which he began thinking of his own magazine. And this guy's nuts because he put his own money in it, took a bank loan out, and even raised $8,000 to get this magazine started. And what's crazy, even his mom actually gave him $1,000 to start the magazine, not because she really, felt that this was great material that she believed in, but she more or less believed in her son and believed that he would be successful. Now, the original idea for his gentleman's magazine was going to have the name Stag Party. However, another magazine named Stag warned him that if he used that name, they would file a lawsuit, thus he came with a different name. Other names were Top Hat, Sir, Gentleman, and Satire, but it was his business partner and friend Eldon Sellers that suggested the name Playboy. And by October 1st of 1953, he had founded the company, with the first issue coming out in December. Now, for those who don't know, the first issue, first of all, didn't have a date in case that they never did a second issue, but it featured Marilyn Monroe. Interesting enough, although he never met Marilyn Monroe, in 1992 he actually bought the crypt next to Marilyn Monroe's grave for $75,000. Now, in the first years, the magazine was doing fantastic, but unfortunately his family life began to suffer, because in 1959 he ended up divorcing his first wife, Millie. Now, this really probably didn't have much to do with the magazine, but more or less guilt. Because on their wedding night, Millie admitted to Hefner that she had been sleeping with other people while he was overseas during the Second World War. And although the marriage was going downhill from there, she allowed him to sleep with other women so their marriage could be saved. And yes, that is sometimes a common thing when people get cheated on and they're still in a relationship.
And we will be celebrating, the 4 of us will be celebrating our first anniversary in the month ahead, in October.
Now, in his early years, he admitted that he was involved with many of the girls that he worked with, and he even admitted to testing the bisexual field in an interview in 1971. So we know a lot about Playboy, and we know a lot about other things about him, but what are some interesting facts about him himself? Well, let's talk about the police, because he has had some run-ins with them before. He was arrested for the first time on June 4th in 1963 for publishing obscure literature for the June issue featuring James Mansfield.
Not unlike the approach that we use where other problems are concerned. In no other area of morality, I don't think, is it as cut and dried that you follow a certain law simply to follow that law, even if it sometimes takes you out the window.
He also bought the first official offices of Playboy, called the Playboy Building, in 1965, which was a 37-story building located 1919 Michigan Avenue in Chicago. And it was there until the head offices moved to LA in 1989. So what about the Playboy Mansion, the famous place where all the ladies go? Well, he purchased the Playboy Mansion in 1971, and it is located in Holmby Hills, California. Now, although he was a man that did, adult magazines, he was a huge lover for film. As a matter of fact, you might be interested to know that he spent $27,000 of his own money to help reconstruct the Hollywood sign. This was in 1978, and actually beforehand, it was known as the Hollywood Land sign, but after that, the sign changed simply to Hollywood, the sign that we know of today. And actually, there's a running joke in 1941 when John Belushi shoots down the LAND of the Hollywood Land sign. But as for Hugh Hefner, you could say that he owns the Y of Hollywood because he purchased that letter. And as a matter of fact, he held a fundraiser to purchase the rest of the words. And because of that work, he received his Hollywood Walk of Fame star in 1980. Now, he's actually also been a huge supporter of the University of South Carolina because he's donated millions of dollars to that institution. For example, in 1992, he donated $100,000 for a course on film censorship. In 1995, he donated $1.5 million and endowed the Hugh Hefner Chair for the Study of American Film. And again, he donated in 2007 for other film-related programs. And because of all of his contribution, he was inducted in 1998 to the American Society of Magazine Editors Hall of Fame. So we all gotta ask the question, when it comes to Hugh Hefner, how many girls has this guy slept with? I mean, it's gotta be a lot, right? Well, in 2013, he admitted in an interview that he had slept with easily over 1,000 women. But although some people might think of him as a scoundrel and maybe somebody that would potentially cheat, he did admit that when he was married, he never actually cheated on anybody he was with. So, he does get a gold star for that. And it's also kind of funny because the amount of Viagra that he actually has used in the past had resulted in him losing his hearing. He himself in an interview admitted that he popped more pills as if they were Skittles, and one of his ex-girlfriends stated that he'd rather have sex than hearing. What a guy, gotta love him, right? Like, yeah, I mean, it feels good, but I don't know. I kind of would like to be able to hear somebody from across the room. That's just me. That's a tough decision, Dave. You can either have sex or you can hear for the rest of your life. Tough choices. Now let's fast forward to the current years, because in August of 2016, which at the time of recording this video, that was a little over a year ago, he sold the Playboy Mansion for $100 million. And one thing that's really fascinating about this man is that he was one to keep memories. This is because this man liked to keep scrapbooks. He had tons of them lying around his house. As a matter of fact, he had over 2,400 of them. And this was a simple reminder of the good times that he had with the many people that he had met. But for the millions of people that have probably met him, he has probably touched your soul in some way or another. And although he passed away on September 27th of 2017, the fact that he had these scrapbooks show that he was a man who cared about the people that he had met. However, this is just a brief look at Hugh Hefner, a guy that became his own empire. Sure, with a story of success, there are stories of lawsuit, marriages, love, and divorce, but does that really reflect the man that we have heard of? My name is Dave Walpole, guys, and I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. Be sure to tune in every single day because we are always uploading Monday to Friday. On top of that, guys, check out Grammarly.com. These guys are our sponsor. If you guys want to improve your grammar skills, it's got a free program online, and we here on FTD Facts use it every single day. It's really quite a handy tool. Heck, if you want to spend some money and get the upgradable version, you can do that as well, but the link for it is down there. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, guys, and also leave a comment for a future FTD Facts video. We want to know what you guys want to hear about because we're all down for the comment section, yo. But this is Hugh Hefner, a man who refused to be limited in what he could do. It is amazing what happens to some people when a man hears the word no to making more money or for bettering himself. But this is the man, the legend, Hugh Hefner, in which the world will never see another one quite like him.
I think life should be that kind of adventure till you die.
Hey guys, guys, thanks for watching. You know, if you guys really like this video, check out one of our other videos here on the side. Also, feel free to check out our countries playlist. This is kind of our jam. We like to talk a lot about countries and cultures. So if you got a recommendation for a country or culture or anything that you want us to do, leave it down there. Other than that, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.